My name's Alicia English and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Yesterday we had some unfortunate events happen, but we've taken it as a learning curve and we're gonna work on a cool project today. I've never done this before. I have no experience doing this, but I'm trying to show you that when sometimes things happen in life, oh my gosh, a hornet just landed on me. Like that. Sometimes unfortunate events happen, like hornets landing on you. So we got stuck yesterday when we went to London. We were ready to make a video for you guys yesterday. We went to gather a few extra supplies and the truck broke down. So it was pouring rain. I managed to get the car across the street to a mechanic. Well, they told me the quote for the vehicle was going to be astronomical, and I knew that it was probably a fairly simple job that I could research and figure out how to do on my own. So I got the vehicle home to our town, contacted our local supplier for parts, picked up the part that I needed, waited for the rain to go away, and today we're gonna work on this project. So let's watch the sun come out and work on the truck. So while we were driving, just before the truck broke down, I noticed that this battery light came on and my voltage meter wasn't reading quite right. So when we actually got stalled out, I Googled what that symbol meant, and it told me that it was either my battery or my alternator. I was able to get the car to the mechanic across the street who confirmed it wasn't just needing a new battery, but that it was my alternator. So I knew what part I needed to get. I took my make, model, and year of my vehicle to my parts store and they helped me order what alternator that I needed for my truck. This is where I needed to save some money by ordering this part by myself. The mechanic shop was going to charge me over $500 and I was able to pick up my own part for just under $300. I'll also be able to return the used non-working alternator out of the vehicle to get a rebate at the parts shop. You're probably wondering how I'm going to accomplish this task. Well, I watched some YouTube videos this morning and I'm actually found one that I really liked, and so it was really clear to me what I needed to do. So I'm going to try to get this off now. I'm going to remove the battery and then we're going to put the alternator in. I'm going to use a 10mm socket wrench. You might need a short or a deep depending on your battery. I need to remove the terminals of the battery. Be careful when you're working with batteries. I'm going to remove the positive first. So this right here is the alternator, and this is the serpentine belt. We need to loosen the belt so we can get out the old alternator. So I'm going to use this tensioning one right here, auto tensioner, and I'm going to just loosen the 14mm bolt that's on it so that it will let me pull out the belt just a little bit without actually removing it all the way. This right here is the power line that goes to the alternator. So I need to release that 10mm bolt, and then I need to do a pinch and pull to release that connection right there. After I've removed the power and the plug, I need to release the bracket that's holding the alternator on. So I'm going to take out this bolt holding the bracket right here. Now we're down to our last two bolts, and these ones will be tough. This one is the top of the alternator, and there's one underneath here behind the belt. Nice big one right there. We're gonna get those off and then we can remove and pull out the alternator. Wiggle this sucker out. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, in for the new one. This is where the power thing we took off will go, and that's the connector that we pinched to take off. So I know that is my top back part. So I need to get the little bar that's down there, I need to support it into there, and then this part should line up. Should. The new alternator is in. I have to tighten it up, but I have some more to show the suffering of getting this in. But I did it. When you're smaller like me, it's hard to get leverage to make the bolts super tight, and these things need to be really tight in the truck. So I had to get in, literally on and in the truck to be able to push my weight down to make it super tight. So those are now on really tight, and now I'm missing the belt for the alternator to actually run. So I need to use my tensioner and get the belt back installed, and then we're ready to put our brackets and our power and our connector back on. And then we'll do the battery. You release the tensioner by pulling up, and you can see that it loosens where the belt is, and then I was able to slide it back on. So I'm gonna tension it back tight again and take out my socket. I got the connector back on, and I'm just removing the bolt so I can put the power back on. And then I'm gonna put this nut back, or bolt back on, and then I'm gonna tighten it up. The hardest part about doing this stuff is getting your tools in where they need to go. And my last step is to replace this bracket here. So I'm going to use my 10mm again and put this bracket on, and then we get to put the battery on. Whew, we got that in. Now we're ready for some power, so we're gonna put the battery back in. The bracket on, and it has two of these like long prongs with a little hook on the bottom that will attach so that you can tighten this down to hold the battery in place. The short one goes to the rear of the vehicle and the long one goes to the front. Now I'm going to put back on the battery terminals, and I'm starting with the negative. I'm gonna get this fired up right away so that the alternator can start charging my battery. Yay, so good. That's a wrap. I'm super impressed with myself. I thought from watching the video I watched this morning that I would be able to do this job, and so I kind of took a chance. It turned out really well. I was able to save probably over $400 doing this myself without the labor and any additional costs that maybe would have been put on my bill that I wouldn't have expected. So today we'll be returning the old alternator to get our discount back, and then that will save me even more money. So ultimately this was a great project. I now know how to do it. I could help someone in the future do it if they needed help, or do it again if we ever need to. So all around, I'm super thrilled that the truck is running well now. It obviously wasn't an ideal situation that we broke down away from our town with kids in the car, but we made the best of it. The kids had fun splashing in the puddles in the parking lot at the place we got the car looked at. We managed to make it home safely. Got to learn something new about the truck, and it just goes to show if you just have a positive outlook on anything that life throws you, you can accomplish a task, learn something new, and maybe help someone in the future. I turned a negative into a positive, just like this battery. I'm so funny. It was really important for me to work on this project today, so I'm happy that the rain went away and the sun came out. I can't create any content at all for our YouTube if I don't have a working vehicle. I use this truck for everything, every roadside find, every dump trip, every trip to the city to pick up materials we need to do any footage that we take for you guys. So I'm happy that it's up and running. We have more creating to do, so we're off to get some more supplies. Brush any weight off your shoulder that's happening in your life today, shake it off, make it a learning experience or a positive one. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support on our channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Yeah.